Hey, what's up, bro? Most people are gonna tell you never to buy a modified Corvette, but I'm here to tell you it's alright. I'm actually gonna tell you the reasons why I think buying a modified C6 Corvette is actually a pretty good idea. To be honest, you shouldn't really be listening to normies giving you advice. You can't trust most people's advice. Most people are gonna tell you it's okay to be in debt. You work really hard, you gotta treat yourself. They're gonna tell you it's okay to do nothing, bro. It's your day off, bro. Just stay at home, just scroll on your phone. They're gonna say that shit is alright. You think that shit is alright? Of course you don't. Those freaking darn softies, man. You can't listen to those people. They'll even give you the wrong advice. They'll tell you, oh, you're really young, so you should really work as many hours as you can, and you should make a lot of money for your boss, and then you're gonna get old and you're gonna die. And guess what's gonna happen if you listen to those type of people? You're not gonna have a race car. You're not gonna become good at anything. You're not gonna be a good driver. You're not gonna have a cool car like this one. You're gonna end up driving a freaking clapped up PT Cruiser or a Town and Country Chrysler. Do you really want that? Of course you don't, bro. The reason why most people tell you not to buy a modified Corvette, it is because they're trying to look out for you. They don't want you to buy a car that's been clapped out and hooned and wait a second, what type of car is this? This is a freaking sports car. It's gonna be hooned no matter who you buy it from. The previous owner hooned out of the car. They drove the freaking car, I can guarantee you. So does it really make sense to blame modified cars when in reality you can buy a car that's immaculate, perfect? It's probably been honed around. The Carfax is not gonna tell you this. Another argument people make against a modded car is that the car that you buy could very well have cheap parts. So the way to counter this is by getting informed, getting educated, and learning about good brands, learning the prices. That way you can get a Corvette that maybe has really valuable parts in it, and you don't get stuck buying a Corvette with cheap parts. There's a lot of information out there. Binge watch videos of people rebuilding Corvettes, like me and obviously other channels that I watched when I was rebuilding mine. The information is out there, it's free. You're a content gobbler, so take advantage of that. And a counter argument that I like to make is that not because it's an OEM part means that it's gonna be a good part. I've had way too many experiences lately with OEM parts being in crappy condition. Parts will fail within 200 miles. So even though the car has all original stuff, that's not a good sign. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is that not all aftermarket parts are bad. For example, a car that's had a lot of different parts changed, that means that there's less maintenance for you to do, less parts that could possibly break while you're driving the car, less wrenching time in your hands, which can be translated as more seat time. And of course, I'm gonna talk about my experience with my C6 Corvette really quick. I bought this for $25K. It was very clean, lots of original parts, and the engine blew up. I rebuilt it here in this garage. Go and watch that series. So I spent about $9K doing the rebuild. And this was a car that cosmetically looked in immaculate shape. And of course, $25K plus $9K is not that bad of a deal for a Corvette. But I did do a lot of the labor myself. It could have easily been around $15K for the rebuild as far as I know. I don't want you to go through the same mistakes that I went. And that's the reason why I'm making these videos now. I'm here to give you guidance, bro. Hold my hand. Let's go over there. Hop on that white van over there. I got free candy. Let's go. Also, a modified Corvette is gonna be pushing more power, which means you're gonna be pushing more gears. And I don't need to elaborate on that. More power equals better as long as it's good parts and it's reliable. A reason why I think buying a modified C6 is a good idea is this right here. So if you buy a car with aftermarket wheels, that can actually be a really huge plus for two reasons. If a car has aftermarket wheels, that is a huge plus. Wheels transform the look of the car completely. And if you don't have to come out of pocket all at once, spend 5K, 10K on wheels, that's really convenient. You don't have to worry about crazy wait times to get the wheels that you want, spending money on tires, getting those installed, and then throwing them on the car. You get a car that automatically looks better. 20-inch wheels like these ones look fantastic. But there's actually a benefit going with an aftermarket wheel that's around 18-inch and 19-inch, and that's gonna be that you get more choices in tires and better prices on those tires. If you're doing motorsports, you definitely wanna have more options when it comes to tires, depending on what you're gonna be doing. If I was doing motorsports with these 20-inch wheels, I'd wish that I kept the Miata instead of this one, because the prices are just crazy for these tires. Something that people maybe don't take into consideration when you tell them that you wanna buy a modified car is that building a car is fun and everything, but there's actually As you know, there's a joy in just being able to buy a car, get in it and drive it. Seat time is so valuable. And even though you do make great memories working on the car, you also make great memories driving the car and enjoying it. Sometimes you don't want the car to be sitting for months or years making things happen. Sometimes you just want to drive it. And sorry, bro, I'm gonna go on another side tangent right here really quick. But what I don't get is that when people find the most clean and pristine examples of a car, just to completely hack it up, strip it down and modify it. Why do they do that, bro? Why? Tell me. And I'm talking to you, the S chassis community. Let's say if you're building a drift C6 Corvette, why would you buy a completely pristine Corvette just to completely hack it up and crash into it? I mean, that's your choice. You can do that, but why not rescue a car that's already beat up? Why not do the world a favor and get another Corvette back in the road? Also, another reason why buying a modified C6 could be a good idea, if you're planning on doing something like drifting in the car and the car already has some of those mods that are gonna help you drift a little bit better, wouldn't that be more beneficial to you? Because the car has had more time, it's been a little bit dialed in, you become a better drifter. Wouldn't that make sense, right? At least to me. And sure, parts are gonna wear out, they're gonna break, you're gonna have to replace them, but at least you can just jump in the car and start drifting, start hooning around. I'd say that's a benefit that you get with the modified Corvette. And the downside to that is that if you buy a modified Corvette for drifting, the engine could be tired, but if you find one that has either a brand new engine or a rebuilt engine, you technically have a brand new car. And what happens if it breaks, bro? What's gonna happen? I mean, you get to build the car, make it your own, learn, fuse with the car, become one with the car, and that's gonna make you a better driver. So there are a few things that are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and that the C6 Corvettes are gonna have the harmonic balancer fail on you. So if it's gonna happen, why not buy a modified Corvette that's already had that harmonic replaced, maybe with something like a ATI harmonic balancer, which is like the upgraded version. And that's the reason why you gotta get educated, so you're able to spot these things. Because if you get one that's already had that issue taken care of, then you're gonna be saving like $1,300 on repairs, and you're gonna save like a week of the car being in the shop and you get to drive it. And if you're a Chad and you're looking for a CO6, then you might want to consider buying one that's already had the valve guides replaced, upgraded, or maybe it's had that LS7 replaced. Maybe it's got some nice link bar lifters in there, and maybe a delicious cam kit. My mouth is watering just thinking about this. If you're watching this and your CO6 hasn't done this, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. It's pretty common. It's happened to a lot of people out there on the internet. Most people get squeamish when they've seen that the car's had engine work or the engine's been rebuilt, but you have an IQ higher than a monkey, so you know what's good. A C6 with an engine that's been rebuilt by a reputable shop, buying a car with a rebuild, it's just better than buying a car with 80,000 miles on it. Trust me, ask me how I know. Ask me, bro. Ask me how I know. I'm waiting. Yeah, this is how I know. I just thought of another reason why buying a modified C6 Corvette could be a boss move. And think about this. If you buy a C6 that's all original, pretty low mileage, owned by a boomer, of course, it's actually not as good as buying a modified Corvette for this following reason. A lot of cases, when you buy a modified Vet, it's gonna have some goodies in it. It's gonna have a cold air intake. It's gonna have a nice exhaust system in it. It's also gonna have a lot of more features in the original car. It's gonna have a nice stereo on it. It's gonna have a nice carbon fiber kit. Actually, this car that I bought, it had all the carbon fiber in it. I was gonna do anyways when I bought my Corvette, and I just saved myself like $5K on the carbon fiber kit. Make sure you get something extra out of it. Try to look for those little things that are gonna be bonuses, are gonna be better than buying an all original car. Because think about this, the less things you have to upgrade, that means the more money you get to spend on other mods just to make the car even better. And who knows, maybe you don't wanna buy more mods, maybe the car that you buy is perfect as it is. Maybe you wanna use the money for gas, maybe you wanna use it to take your family out on a nice dinner, donate it to charity. So what would you do with that money?
Bunch of hookers and cocaine.
Oh, okay, that's not good. We were hoping for a different answer.
So if you're on the fence and you don't know if you should buy a modified C6 Corvette, I think these are pretty good reasons on why you should do it. You should pull the trigger and buy that car that you consider buying. And if somebody tells you it's not a good idea to buy a modified car, you should slap them in the face with a big, fat, juicy glizzy. Show them this video and just don't listen to them. They're secretly your ops. They're planning on your demise. They don't want you to win. They don't want to see you rolling on a nice vet. But I do, bro. I do. I want you to get your C6. You don't have to save 30 to 40K to buy an immaculate one. Especially if you're young, you probably can't afford a car like that. So buy what you can afford. Get in the community and have some freaking fun. And I'm just gonna ruin everything that I said by saying this. But also keep in mind that it could all go sideways and you could get a shit car. But if you're financially prepared for a worst case scenario, then it's not really gonna be that bad, right? So did I convince you? Where do you fall in this debate? Why don't you drop some comments down below and tell me what you think? Maybe things that I missed, maybe things that you think are valuable points that other people should consider. After all, we're here to help each other out. This video provides information. The comments provide information. At the end of the day, this community wins.